What are they telling you, and are they at breaking point?
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, the venues have gone through a lot over the last 16 months, from 10 weeks of shutdown to operating over the last year after that with significant restrictions, to then be forced back into lockdown now. Many of them have obviously been spending a lot of their capital, their available funds, over the last year while operating under restrictions. So now they've been shut down for 2 and now at least 3 weeks. They're in dire straits. Their financial situation is more grim by the day.
Now, do you think the state and federal government is doing enough to support the industry right now?
Look, it's very difficult because we're in a situation where obviously during the 10-week shutdown in 2020, we had JobKeeper. So our employees were being paid virtually to support us. What I've noticed this time is a lot of the premises have actually been closed for the 2 weeks. Some of them aren't even providing the takeaway food and beverage, particularly in the CBD. So the governments need to be there to support us. If they're going to shut us down, then that support needs to be made available at the local, the state and the federal level.
Now, without financial support, John, how many businesses and jobs are at risk of going under?
Look, currently we've got over 50,000 staff that are stood down. We've also got in regional New South Wales, of course, where they're under fairly significant restrictions as well. So a lot of those staff have been stood down or working less shift at the moment. So our staff are hurting badly. There is some financial assistance available, but particularly some of the payments, you've got to go through the 2-week period before that $10,000 means test is waived. So I have fears for some of our staff, many of our staff, that have bills to pay. They've got to pay rent, food and utilities with the current amount they're getting, but also for my members across New South Wales that, as I said, they're spending up their capital surviving to this date. So some of them may well go under.
Now, do you think the New South Wales Premier was slow to react to this outbreak?
Oh, look, the Premier has always maintained that she operates under the advice she's given by health. I have no reason to criticise the government or the Premier on that. I'm confident that they are relying on that health advice. We need to look forward and we need to make sure that our industry is supported. So when we do open up again, and bear in mind it's not going to be fully open straight away, but we need to make sure that we don't have one of these quarantine situations and leakages again. Obviously people need to be vaccinated so the hospitality sector can get back on their feet far quicker.
Definitely. Now, when you see pictures around the world, in particular England over the last week or so, where they have pubs and clubs open and a lot of people attending Wimbledon and the Euro tournaments, do you think they have the right idea when it comes to living with COVID-19?
Look, obviously the secret there is the number of people that have been vaccinated. And I think it's also part of the problem. I think people in Australia are looking at Wimbledon, they're looking at Euro, they're looking at the Tour de France. And out of that, they're thinking that we've done so well or appear to have done so well. That's why they're not obeying the rules like they need to. It's just vitally important that everyone obeys the rules so we can get rid of this lockdown and get this under control as soon as we can. And then, and only when we've got that vaccine rate up, can we look to opening up like they do overseas.
Lastly, John, this lockdown could go on for weeks. How much more do you think this industry can handle?
As I said, I have fears for some of the operators and their ability to maintain their businesses. We need people, landlords, coming to the party when it comes to waiving or at least deferring rents. We need everyone to pull together. Otherwise, there may be little of that hospitality sector available depending on how long this lockdown goes for.